Hello, MavMind Collective, and welcome to another episode of the Hypnosales Show. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build team trust. It goes without saying, if you're in a position where you're leading a team of people or you have ambition to eventually lead a team of people, the most important thing you can do is build trust with your team. They won't follow you and they won't do what you ask them to do, and they won't really be successful unless they trust you with how you assign the tasks, how you support them in the accomplishing and completing the tasks, and really just looking out for them. The important thing to remember is that at a subconscious level, that's where we actually make our decision whether we trust somebody or not. We don't really, you could consciously make a decision to trust someone, but you won't really trust them unless it happens at a subconscious level. And there's several factors that go on at the subconscious level for that to occur. So if you're going to make a decision subconsciously to trust or not to trust someone, it's going to happen because you either feel a sense of loyalty, you feel safe, and there's no mystery about how it is to work with that person or to be around that person. So if there's any mystery about any of that at all, and it makes you feel unsafe at a subconscious level, the subconscious just will refuse to trust that other person. So you want to create a sense of loyalty, you want to create safety, you want to create something that feels familiar, so that way at a subconscious level the decision to trust the other person is there, and then it's up to them to actually make that decision. So you can't make them trust you, but you can create the conditions for them to make the decision at a subconscious level to trust you, and then it'll bubble up eventually, and then consciously they'll feel like they're making a conscious decision to trust you, but it's already been made. The decision was already made subconsciously, and it just bubbled up into their awareness, and they became aware of it. Okay, so if you follow my videos, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about conscious and subconscious and things bubbling up. That's a key factor. Now, if you have ambition to lead a team, these are the things that when you finally are leading a team, these points will be something you can come back to use to remind yourself of how to build trust with your team. But if you're already leading a team now, you can already start doing these tips that I have for you today to establish that trust very quickly with your team. The first thing on the list here, schedule one-on-one meetings with your individual team members. Schedule one-on-ones. Now, what that means is the key to here is regular. Scheduling regular meetings on a regular basis. Okay, so it could be weekly, it could be bi-weekly, like every other week. It could be once a month, but you have to schedule regular meetings because at a subconscious level, the regularity or the consistency of the same day, same time is really what helps the subconscious to feel comfortable. It feels comfortable when it knows it's got a meeting coming up at the same time, and it occurs the same time every week, every couple weeks. It's always the same time. And don't cancel. Whatever you do, don't cancel. You want to try to continue to have that regular meeting. Even if you have to shift it, keep it within that same week or bi-week or monthly time frame, to where the subconscious knows it still can look forward to it. Now, consciously, not all of us look forward to those meetings. Sometimes the people on your team, each individual may not be looking forward to talking with you consciously, but subconsciously, the regularity or having the consistency of the meeting at the same time is what's going to create a sense of comfort and safety for them, and they'll start to trust you just because of that. Because you're always there on time, and you're always there when you say you're going to be there, and they can look forward to you subconsciously to talk with you. Okay, and then also when you're on the meetings, don't just talk about work. Don't just talk about the tasks that you're assigning them. Also talk about other things. Bring in other elements to help them feel comfortable with you as a person. And you also want to ask them questions to figure out and be comfortable with them too. Because remember, trust goes both ways. You also are going to be creating a sense of trust and a sense of loyalty to them as well. It's because it's mutual. It's always mutual. If you're going to be an effective team together, you have to have mutual trust with each other. So this is about team trust and mutual trust. So you want to do the same thing. Talk about other things, maybe in your personal life or just something outside of work, other topics, something to feel comfortable and safe, so that way they look forward to the meeting and they know it's not always about you asking about the status of their tasks or finding out what they're doing. Just Let them bring the tasks that they want to talk about. Let them bring the topics they want to talk about. And if they don't have anything, then you insert something and get them talking about something task related or something outside of work, something that's not task related, but it helps you to establish a sense of trust and loyalty and comfort and safety talking with each other. That's the key part of it all. Regularity and creating that safety during those one-on-ones. So they know you got their back and you know they got your back. You got to do it both ways. The second point here is when you do assign a task to them during one-on-ones, make sure you follow up on the assigned tasks. It could be with another call, a quick call. It could be an email, a Slack, a text, but always follow up regularly. Again, the regularity is what creates that sense of comfort and safety, but also you want to make sure that they know that you care enough to follow up. You would be surprised how many leaders I've worked with and that I've known about that don't follow up on anything. That does nothing but create a sense of this sense, I don't really care about your tasks. I just need you to get it done or you're in trouble. It doesn't come across in the right way. If you follow up, it doesn't, believe it or not, it won't feel like you're nagging them or hounding them. It's going to create the sense of wow, you really care about me. Now, consciously, they might feel like you're hounding them, but subconsciously, they're going to be really grateful that you care enough to follow up and make sure that they're on track, that they're being successful, that you're there to help and support them, give them moral support or technical support or whatever kind of support they need. To know that you're there to offer it will help create more trust and help them make a decision to trust you back because of that follow-up. So following up is really important in all cases. So don't forget to do that. Always remember to follow up on assigned tasks. And then the last part here is to share written expectations. Now, this is something that, again, eliminates the mystery about how we all behave. Now, if you think about it, how many times have you written down your expectations for your team about you and yourself and the team? Or how many times has your manager that you report to ever wrote out their expectations for you about how they're going to behave and how it is to work with them? Chances are pretty high no one's ever really done that with you, and you've probably never done that with your team. But I'm going to tell you, at a subconscious level, this is one of the best things you can do to create trust. It's one of the secret MavMind things that I've learned that I do every time when I have a team of people reporting to me. I explicitly write out the expectations for my team. I write out what they can expect of me, like what my expectations that you can have of me, like your expectations for me. Then I write out my expectations of you. And then I write out expectations of all of us on the team and how we interact together. Now, it's a very simple idea. You don't have to capture all of them, but you got to capture enough expectations to where it's very clear to everyone on the team what is to be expected of each other. And what this does is it eliminates that mystery and, again, creates that sense of safety and comfort that everybody knows what's going on and what to expect from each other and the team. Because if you want to create a sense of potential distrust or someone not trusting you, don't share anything and let it be a mystery. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like consciously or subconsciously. I don't like, trying to figure out my boss, trying to figure out how the team is going to work together. Because my idea of how that's going to work and everyone else's idea is going to be different. And if everybody has a different idea and different expectations, it creates chaos, creates confusion, creates mystery, and nobody trusts anyone when everything is chaotic and confusing and mysterious. That just doesn't happen. Subconsciously, it just won't happen. Your subconscious won't let it happen because that's how it works. It needs clear, concise, very explicit details of everything and how everything is going to work. Then it can relax and it can make a decision to trust and to go with it. So the very best thing you can do for your team to build trust is to write out in a document what you can expect of them, what they can expect of you, and what you can expect of each other. And like I said, it doesn't even matter what those things are. As long as you have a list of them and you go over it with the team and you share it with the team and you make sure everyone is crystal clear on the expectations, then that's where everything changes. You will be very amazed, extremely amazed at the sense of trust that the team will have once you once you share those expectations. And then you also need to allow them to add to it. If they decide, hey, we want to add another expectation that we want to write out, can we add it to the list? Always let your team add new expectations to the list if they want to. Because if they have a sense that there's something still mysterious, like you didn't cover all the bases, and they still feel like there's some expectation that's not been set explicitly, because you've given them this document and you let them insert new expectations, they'll make sure to fill in anything you missed. And when they fill in expectations for the team and for you and for them that you missed, they'll put it on there. Now they'll feel like, okay, now I can trust you, you can trust me. They add to that trust building on the team by adding in their expectations on the list. So always leave a bullet blank and always encourage your team to add new expectations to that list so they can feel safe and comfortable to establish the trust with you and with the team. So it's not just one way where you're trying to establish trust towards them, they're establishing trust towards you and towards each other. And you'll be amazed, like I said, extremely amazed of how much trust and how much loyalty the team will start to have when you start to document the expectations and allow them to contribute to that document.
Thank you for watching. I know you find value in these videos, didn't you? Now, if you, like me, are in a customer-facing role, you want to get better every day at what you do, but you don't have to watch another video if you don't want to.